Welcome everyone, and today we got our very special guest. We got Courtney in the house. And Courtney, you've been with us in Jack Vegans for how long?
6.5 months.
6.5 months, and we're gonna go for how much longer?
18, 17 and
At,
a half, 17 and a half,
at,
exactly.
at least another 18 months. And I wanted to bring Courtney today because I wanted to tell the story, like what's your experience in Jack Vegan so far? And before we dive into that, I want to ask you a very important question. I want you to go back to the day where you had your first phone call, the conversation.
If it's recorded somewhere, you should like pull that up and
it is recorded actually.
Let people laugh at me because I'm pretty sure I had like an out-of-body experience, but that's all right.
But I want you to tell me how did you feel in that call? Do you feel nervous? Do you feel pressure? Do you feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna invest this money? Like how did you feel?
I felt nervous. I felt like there was like a fear of failure also, like that I was not going to get accepted into Jack Vegan's Academy. And like, that was terrifying. And like, I think that the way that the interviews are structured is good because you have like your quick 20-minute and then your next one's the long, like deep dive one. And I thought that like, by the time it got to the point where I had to like invest financially, I had already invested mentally. So at that point for me, it was just like, I couldn't have got that far to only go that far. You know what I mean? Like I didn't go through that whole process and put myself through that like emotional turmoil of having to like talk to a stranger about all the things I like want to change about myself to like fall at the 1 yard line.
So you felt very, very nervous then?
Nervous is like the understatement of the millennium.
And you made the commitment. You said, I'm gonna freaking do this. How'd you feel the week after? Like 7 days after?
Like I made the biggest mistake of my life. I was terrified because I was terrified.
What were you terrified of?
Failing, and it was a lot, and I was overwhelmed, and I didn't know what I was doing, and it was scary, and there was like all the things that I now consider the magic of Jack Vegans scared the crap out of me at the beginning, right? Like it was scary, and I was like, oh my God, and like you're getting started on the workouts. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. And I'm not doing cardio. And I didn't know I was allowed to not do cardio. And I have to count all my food. And I wasn't eating enough protein. And and it was just, there's so many things. Like, I think that first like week to 10 days is almost like trial by fire. Like it can dictate how your entire journey goes.
Someone listening to this, maybe they're thinking about signing up. Maybe they just signed up and they're kind of having that exact feeling.
It gets easier. Absolutely everything you were doing gets easier. Like you get to a point, like I'm 6.5 months in now, but after like the first 3 weeks, like counting my macros and finding food to fit my macros and knowing what I could eat in a day, that wasn't scary anymore. And like the workouts and the workout programs are structured so amazingly, they grow with you. So like at the beginning, when you have no idea what you're doing and you're terrified, they're pretty short and they're not that strenuous, and you're able to like, you can get through them, you can survive them, which I think gives you like this thing of like, oh my God, okay, I did it, so it's fine. And then once you've done it once, you can do it again. If you did it once, you can do it a million times, right? So it's just getting like over that hump. And I think at the beginning too, like I imagine it's also hard for you coaches because everyone is probably assuming that anyone is anything like me, like you're overwhelmed and you're scared. So I think you really have to foster that like client coach relationship, because that's the person that's going to be in your corner and on your side and like in your chat every single day, except for Sundays. And that's the person though, who like you're going to ask, they're going to answer all your questions. They're going to be guiding your journey. And if you follow what your coach tells you to do with like minimal meltdowns, you're going to get results. You always say it, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. And it's hard though at the beginning, because I think we all like just innately have this fear of failure. And we also kind of innately have like this fear of financial failure too. Like it's very scary as a human being to invest in yourself and to put out there that you are worth something.
Which is, it's just a little bit crazy, right?
It's super crazy to me now, but it was not crazy for me to think that way 6 months ago.
Now tell me, we're 6.5 months ahead into the journey. Tell me, you know, what you've accomplished, how you feel about that decision you made.
Well, obviously I feel great about my decision because I'm pretty sure I was the first person to force you to let me sign on for 18 months in a row at one time. So clearly I saw the value and I am here for at least 17 and a half more months. But I think like results wise, I had a very, there's no part of me that can complain about how my journey unfolded because I had two goals. Really, you should find that call. I would like to listen to it. I think I had only two goals. I might have had more, but the only two I remember was that I wanted to not look like I'd had 3 children and I wanted to be able to do a pull-up. And I just won though. I was like, just one pull-up. And Dean was like, just one, really? Just one? That's all you want? And I was like, yes, that's all I want. And I now I can sit here and I'm confident in my body. I lost 18-ish pounds at this point. So that was pretty good. I lost all of that in my first cut and then went into maintenance. I've learned so much about my body and how it responds to things. And I've gotten so much stronger that literally last week I did do a pull-up, one in 3/4 pull-ups.
How many do you do in the day? You didn't do just one?
10 probably. And not in a row though. Let's not get excessive.
But you did 2 in a row. No, I remember.
Yeah. Well, it was one. It was one and almost I would count it as 2, but you might not. You as the godfather of Jacked Vegan's coaching might not have counted it technically as 2. I would count it as 2.
I'll give you the 2.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. So I have done 2 pull-ups now then in a row, 2 all the way up over the bar. And I don't remember what I was saying, but pull-ups is really saying, oh, I can do push-ups on my toes now.
Oh, and you have good form.
Yeah. So I'm so much stronger than I ever could have dreamed that I would be. And I do think that women also have a tendency to be sort of nervous about getting bulky when they gain muscle. I think that that's sort of some BS.
Yes, that's a very fear. That's a very common fear.
It's a thing, but I feel like I have probably 10,000% more muscle I'm pretty sure when I started, I had 0 muscle definition. I don't think you could have defined a muscle at that point. None of them. You couldn't. But now I have visible muscles.
You do. Yeah. I can see your biceps on you, everything. You flex and you're damn. And for the ladies scared of getting bulky, it's not going to happen. Even if you really try really hard, you're not going to get bulky. It is really hard to get bulky.
Well, that's what you say, but we don't trust that in our heads because remember, do you remember when I freaked out about going to maintenance calories? Because I was pretty sure I was going to go, but that's what I mean. You trust the coaches, you guys have all of the knowledge and all of the skills to get all of your clients to their desired results. All I had to do was do the actual work, but I didn't have to actually think that hard. I just had to do what Simeon told me to do. And
I like to use the analogy of riding a bike. You have all these moving parts. The first time you ride a bike, you have the steering wheel, you have the brakes, you have the pedals, and you gotta piece it all together. And it feels really hard and you're gonna fall. You're gonna scrape your knees. You just get up, try again. You fall, you get up, try again. By the 5th, 7th try, you're gonna be riding the bike. And then by the 100th try, you're gonna be doing wheelies. So you made a lot of gains with your body. Tell me mindset gains. What's happened with your mindset? Mindset was
the dark horse of Jacked Vegans I didn't see coming because you hear that there's a mindset component for sure. I knew there was calls and I was like, nope, not for me. Not for me. I'm just not going to go on those because that sounds scary. And there's a group chat and I was like, yeah, we'll see. And then you're like, okay. But the mindset, leaps and bounds that I have made since the beginning of this program is honestly, to me, it's more impressive than even my physical changes because I think a lot of us it's scary to do the internal work. It's easier to do the external work. It's easy to go and lift weights and have and be oh, I'm going to be jacked and it's going to be great. But if your head is still not in a great place, you're not going to be in a great place. And so I think part of what is the magic of Jacked Vegans is the mindset calls in the community, because having this community that is full of like-minded, compassionate, growth-minded people who are all supportive and they're all on comparable journeys, even if all of our journeys are unique to us, but we're all in this space that is it's honestly magical. And then you add in the mindset calls where you guys are just pouring like your heart and your soul and your knowledge and your abundance and your passion and everything just into us and into the community. There's not words for how wonderful that is. I talk to at least like 30 jacked vegans in a week outside of group chat, outside of everything, that I have like real tangible, like beautiful friendships with now. Like
lifelong friendships, right? Like people
1000%. And it's like, nobody told me I was getting that, right? Like who expects that?
We didn't know. It just happened.
Courtney, we're going to give you friends. No,
included, guaranteed. At least 10 lifelong friendships.
3 friendships. No, but it's really truly something so beautiful. Like everyone is so vulnerable and so open and so strong and so encouraging and so courageous in their own journeys that you literally cannot be around the coaches or the clients in this community and not leave feeling like completely uplifted and inspired. It would be impossible.
And we can say the same for you. It's impossible to be around you and not feel freaking happy and inspired. So you're inspiring so many people, Courtney.
But it's such a cool, thank you. It's such a cool ripple effect. Like it's so neat. And it was like that was the unexpected part for me. I wasn't aware, like I had been kind of on a journey on my own, like I'd done 2.5 years at that point, almost 3 years of like journeying to find myself and to improve myself and to better myself. And I was just looking for more. And like, I didn't know that when I joined Jack Vegans, not only was I going to get more, but I was going to get everything.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that and for being a part of the community.
Thank you. It'd be quieter anyway.
We don't want a quieter community. Come on. Now, Courtney, tell us a little bit about yourself, like who you are, like where do you live, like what do you do?
This is like one of those like sitting in front of a class. Like, actually, you know what this is? You know what this is like? This is the first time that I joined a mindset call and I was like, I'm just going to creep in the back and not turn on my camera and nobody's going to know I'm here. And then Julian was like, turn on your camera and tell us. Oh my God. Okay. So I'm Courtney. I live in the freezing cold Arctic of Canada. It's not that bad. I'm 35 years old. I have 3 kids who I stay home and homeschool and raise. My husband and I own a couple businesses. So life is busy, but it is good. So I don't know what else you want to know. I talk a lot. I can do 2 pull-ups.
I love being on calls with Courtney because it's never going to be an awkward silence. She'll just have a freaking amazing conversation. One last question, Courtney. If someone is watching this video, they're like, maybe I'm going to join, maybe, I don't know, we'll see how the call goes. Like, what advice would you give a human being that's, a little bit on the fence, not sure about doing Jack Vegans? What would you tell them?
Well, first off, am I going to get edited if I swear? I can swear.
Yeah, you can. Fuck yeah.
Okay. Okay, then what I would say if somebody's on the fence, and what I have actually said on my Instagram to people who've messaged me being like, tell me about Jack Vegans because I see you're in it, I would just say, just fucking do it. You will not regret it. Like, you are worth the investment, and what you are going to get out of it is going to pay dividends and have ripple effects in the rest of your life. Like, it is not, you can join because you want to lose 100 pounds. You can join because you want to lose 10 pounds. You can join because you want to gain a booty. You can join because you want to convert to veganism or transition to veganism. You can join because you want whatever your reason is. But I promise you that whatever your reason is going to actually pale in comparison to what you're actually going to get and what you're actually going to achieve, and the like leaps and bounds and like quantum shifts that are going to happen in your life just from being part of Jack Vegans.
Thank you so much for being this call. And when you join, you're going to get to meet this wonderful human being.
You'll get to see me on 6 calls a week. Not a lot.
You're going to meet her on all the calls, and people can always message you, right? Just to be your friend.
Always, anytime.
Thank you so much for being here, Courtney. I really appreciate you. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, the amount of like abundance and love and like gratitude that I have for Jack Vegans is just, you literally can't put it into words. It's not quantifiable. So it was honestly, without a shadow of a doubt, like it was the best thing that I've ever done just for myself, because I didn't know that it would affect other people in a positive way, but like just for myself, it was the greatest thing I've ever done.
We love you, Courtney. Thank
I
you
love you
for
guys.
coming in here and sharing this experience. And yeah, that's all I got for today.
That's it.
That's it.